said, of course, if you're comparing physical systems and you're trying to get a close approximation, the best thing you can do to get a close approximation is give the most precise measurement you can, right? So, for example, you gave the electricity example. If you're measuring electron volts or whatever, the best thing you can do to get a close approximation is be precise. That's if you're trying to approximate physical systems. That has, all I said is that has nothing to do with what I'm doing. It's not relevant in any way.
Okay, well, that doesn't respond to the point of why I brought up the analogy, so I'll just answer the question now. Would you agree that obviously due to the thought process that you just presented right now, that within the context of measuring electricity, that we should take the things that more so correspond with physical reality, right?
It's not a hypothetical. What you described is not a hypothetical.
What?
No.
Hold on, me describing the hypothetical of electricity, like powering up like the entirety of like a new power plant is not a hypothetical now?
Oh, okay. Wait, sorry. You're using hypothetical in two different ways. You're using a physical hypothetical, right? Saying if we take this thing we know can work with respect to some other physical system, can we get it to work better? I mean, I'm
No.
talking about logical
Yeah,
hypothetical.
what I
So
mean by hypothetical is just like a logical possible world.
no. This is why I'm getting confused. You're using physical hypotheticals. I'm using logical ones. That's the distinction.
Well, are you saying that when you say, can
You're
you
only
define what you mean?
you're only taking hypotheticals with respect to physical laws, right? I'm taking hypotheticals with respect to logical laws.
No, no,
That's it.
no. I'm taking into account those as well. I'm like you're trying to
I,
like
I
place that
know,
right
I
up
know,
there as
I know,
well.
I know, I know. Physical laws include
Hypothesize these
logical
nuts
laws.
down your throat, faggot, nigga.
Shut up, British nigga. But back to it. Yeah, they include one another. If you're including physical laws, you have to be including logical laws. That's not a defeater.
Yeah, no, that's not what I'm saying. Okay, I'm saying the reason
Oh my
why I'm
God.
presenting this right now, right, is for one, can you just answer the question and stop dodging? Like, would you agree that within the context, there's obviously one possibility that's more legitimate than the other possibility, right?
That only follow. Wait, are you saying it's more likely you can solve some physical problem with better approximation?
No, I'm saying that there's obviously one possibility that's more likely to happen within reality than the other
Yeah,
one.
that's literally just repeating what I said another
No,
way.
you literally said one of them's gonna solve the problem. That has nothing to do with the likelihood of this corresponding with reality. I don't give a fuck about
That
solving the
that's
problem.
that's one that solves the problem better. To have a better
That's an
likelihood, it
entailment,
solves the
sure,
problem
but that's
better.
not what I'm saying.
That's the same thing. Oh my God.
It's
Okay.
really not, though.
Okay. I'm not like this nigga doesn't know what he's saying. I'm sorry, but
Okay, you obviously don't
okay.
understand what I'm saying.
Okay. No one does, but okay.
That's probably
So
does.
okay. Okay. Uh, if you're just yeah, again, I'll go back to what I'm saying. If you're just saying there's a physical system that we can better approximate with with a specific hypothetical that's physical, sure, like there's no issue with that. I'm using a thought experiment that's purely logical. I'm not appealing to any known logical laws. That's not relevant.
Okay,
So
I guess
in
you
a
are.
physical system, yeah, in
You
a
could
physical
just
system, that's cool. I don't care. It's not relevant at all.
okay. Well, I'm gonna just say what I'm saying one more time to we can go to conclusions. I'm
You
saying
know, I get
that
it.
obviously there's one possibility because the reason why we bring up possibilities in the first place, right, is to determine, at least within context of like obviously the analogy, to determine how likely these things are, at least within context of why I brought up the point. It was within context to see which one of these things is more likely to correspond with reality, right? Because the reason why we're here
No,
is because we're trying to
no.
see. That's what you can't tell me why I brought up my point. What do you mean no?
You said we're doing this. It's not you.
What?
We is not you.
Bro, I said the reason why I brought up this point.
Oh my God. You just said we,
That's
but
what,
okay, okay,
no, that's what I
sure.
said. I'm gonna keep going. Okay. So the reason why I brought up this point is to determine how well this thing corresponds with reality. Because I said the weed thing that I was talking about is because we were talking about the brain, the physical aspects, and the non-physical aspects, and we were trying to determine which theory is most likely the case. I'm saying that your theory is simply a thought experiment that has no evidence that this thing at all corresponds with reality. You have not told me once why what you call like this thought experiment has any credence in terms of being probabilistic or even being like a reasonable, plausible fucking possibility. I'm saying that we already both agree to the modality of what I said, that there's tons of scientific evidence to this, to support the fact that physicalism is true. So that's the possibility that we should run with.
Oh
If
my
you like
God.
still think, if you think you're
We already
feedback,
went, bro. We already went through this. It logically
yeah, we can go to
follows. If,
conclusion.
wait, yep, be quiet. If what I'm saying is true and you didn't defeat the hypothetical following, that means that it's necessarily the case, um, something other than materialism explains the Mary's thought experiment.
Yeah, but I literally
So,
disagree with the thought experiment.
okay,
Like,
you can wait,
literally
you
not agree
bro.
with
Just
that.
disagreeing is not a defeater. I don't know why you locators think this shit.
Yeah,
Like
but you need
just
you need
saying
to tell
no
me
is not
why
a
this thing.
defeater.
You need to tell me why this thing is the case.
I just did. I already did multiple
No,
times.
you didn't. You simply said that the
Okay,
thought
let's leave it.
experiment
Leave it
lets
to the
me
judge.
why it
No, you're
works.
retarded. Leave it to the judge. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
let's go
I
through it one more.
explained it,
No,
bro.
let's go
I
through it one
explained
more
it.
time because I'm gonna make sure I didn't miss anything. So tell me why this
No,
thing
no,
is. Tell me why
bro.
this thing
No,
necessarily
Wex,
follows.
bro. Go to conclusions. I'm tired. Like,
Tell me why
I
this
just want
thing
to
necessarily
I want to
follows.
ask
I don't care if you're
I want to
tired of
ask a couple
debating.
questions because
No, I
the
did not
debate
agree to go to.
deviates.
I did not agree to go to conclusions. Geass, tell me your point one more time.
Wex, can you explain it then? 'Cause I'm tired.
Okay, go
Well,
ahead.
that's partly what I was. Well, there was components of this discussion that I wanted to get further clarification on because you guys started arguing dualism, and I want to discuss this with both Midnight and Geass. But Midnight, you're affirming a physicalist view because if the brain is physical, we would know the mental processes and how they would interact with physical objects, and if they cannot like imagine truly what a fourth dimensional object would look like, they cannot have the conscientious experience of interacting with a fourth dimensional object, which leads to some type of epistemic limit to which what Luffy can imagine. And I believe Geass contended that with proposing Mary's blank room experiment. And this is where I was going to ask my question to show that, to emphasize that we don't know much about dualist properties with the mind and bodily events, or to show that the mind is immaterial, and that denounces Midnight's argument.
Yeah, I'm showing there's at least some scenario where the mind is
What
immaterial.
denounces my argument, Wax?
Wait, sorry, what's up?
What did
I'm
you say
showing there's
denounces
a
my argument to the last part?
The last part of your argument?
Yeah, you said that there's a specific theory that denounces my argument. What was it?
bro.
Oh, Geass's Mary's blank room experiment?
Yeah, are you saying that that denounces my argument?
Yes.
If your argument was based on probability, it actually does. But then this leads into my next question. I just need some more further clarification. I was doing some stuff, but why is dualism like relevant to this argument right now?
It's showing because the thing the thing he claimed was Luffy for example, 3D characters can't imagine higher level constructs or higher dimensional constructs. I asked him to prove that. He said we have more evidence for physicalism or materialism. And I say, okay, but how are
Fuck,
you
that's not even what the
dismissing
fuck I said.
it is. He said we have
It
more
really
evidence for
isn't, bro.
materialism. But
That wasn't what I said in response to the claim that
okay,
you
yeah,
made just
yeah,
now.
let me actually get to the argument. But then I went on to prove, and I think I just proved that Mary's thought experiment works, or Mary's blank room experiment works. So that shows that this is actually at least some dualistic process. As long as I get the win the hypothetical. So.
Okay, so I feel like all Geass proves is that it's possibly the case, right?
Wait, we
That
didn't. Wait, no. Wait, we didn't ask for thoughts and afterthoughts. He's trying to get an explanation. Like, Wex, is that your
I know I'm
explanation?
talking to Wex about the fucking debate.
It's
Geass
not.
only
That's not.
proves
He's
that
not asking
Geass
you for
only.
that.
I'm not
What?
trying to. I'm not.
I want to hear Midnight if that's okay.
Okay, thank you. Holy
Okay.
shit. So Geass only proved that this thought experiment is possibly the case, right? I'm saying that within context, there's no like. Yes, obviously it's the case that it's possible logically, but I'm saying that when we're trying to measure how well this thing does correspond with reality, if you can give any evidence that this thing does correspond with reality, like can you tell me why it's a plausible possibility, or if you can tell me why it's like a probabilistic possibility? Because if we have two possibilities, and he already agreed earlier that there's obviously like levels to possibility within context to how legitimate we should take them, that if X possibility is more probable than Y, obviously invoking Occam's razor, we would go with X.
Bro, please. He doesn't understand the argument. Like, what the fuck?
Maybe this will. I'll ask my final question after. But Mary's blank room experiment actually grants your argument, and it shows an explanatory, rather a deductive gap between mind and
And
bodily events.
Exactly. It showed this
proved.
mental process is based on something other than materialism.
But
So I
Geass
denied his.
never
Wait,
proved.
let me finish. So it shows this. It literally defeats his claim. It's very simple. Like, can we move on? It's not just a
I,
possibility claim.
I might, and I might be.
We can just move off of this shit then. We can just go to the main part.
I know he's not understanding the argument. Like,
We can just go to the. We can just go to the main part. I don't even know what correspondence, like physicalism and like that shit's retarded.
Right.
So
That's what I
within,
wanted to get to. And in this respect, you guys were arguing about dualism. An inductive argument, which is what Midnight presented, doesn't defeat the Mary's blank room experiment. But then this is when I wanted to ask, and maybe I'm just being an idiot or a retard or something, but when you guys are discussing dualism, trying to tie into the epistemic limits of what Luffy can imagine and whatnot, I'm not entirely sure how this is relevant.
Yeah, let me answer the question. It shows his claim that the mind has some material limit on it, which is it can't understand things of higher dimensionality is not true. That's the point. He's saying there's some physical limit on the mind. I'm saying no. If I prove it isn't the case, then that defeats
why
the
does
argument.
proving that you can like comprehend? Okay, yeah, that doesn't even correspond. We can get into why that doesn't correspond. Why does proving that something can like perceive or that the mind has some like non-material faculty prove that it can perceive something that's like dimensionally transcendent upon it?
Well, your claim was that the mind, which is material, has and you use like components of the mind, limited in the way that it can't perceive higher dimensional constructs. When I defeat that claim, you now have no argument. Like, what?
What? Okay, are you trying to say that the material aspect of the mind is the only thing that would be bound by dimensionality?
That was your claim. You said it's
No, that's not what my claim was.
You said no. You said it's the components of the mind that limit this thing to being the case, right?
No, I asked you whether or not you agree that obviously within context to what you call the way that we would agree mental state, it would be the things that are the components of the mind.
I'm hearing a new argument. I don't think this is ever said.
Bro, I can pull up the recording. That's not what I said.
Okay. Everyone can pull up the recording, sure, I guess. But
Wex, can you vouch that that's just not what I said?
There's just wait.
You said what?
I'll be right back 1 sec.
Yo, what's good? What y'all talking about?
You want to just keep going, or do you want to wait for Wex's to vouch?
I mean, it doesn't matter because you're gonna argue it regardless.
Yeah, okay.
But if he's not hearing it, there's no point in continuing.
Oh, I bet. I'm gonna just mute up until he comes back.
Yo, what's good? What y'all talking about?
Bro, oh my god.
Oh, what?
Okay,
What does
sorry,
he
I had to talk with my dad real quick. I lost some of the.
You're good. I guess we're gonna go into. He's claiming. What's your claim now, Midnight?
I'm using the same claim. I don't know why you're trying to check.
I think I'll truly understand what we're trying to get at here if I just truly understand Midnight's argument. And it kind of comes down to this. So, are you essentially trying to argue that there's some epistemic limit based on he's not able to actually truly understand or imagine what a fourth dimensional or higher dimensional construct would look like? And if he could, then there would be a mental faculty in which he could have a conscientious experience of interacting with it. But that argument shows that there is some type of limit to what he can actually truly imagine. That corresponds with reality.
Bruh, that's like the first 3 sentences pretty much summed it up, right? You don't need to keep going, but yeah.
Okay, all right. Sorry. Geass's contention was proposing an immaterial. How he was explaining how if the brain is purely material, then that would necessarily mean that
he tried to make the argument. He countered it with the Mary thought experiment, right? But I'm saying that all that proves is that there's like some aspect of the mind in which is like non-physical or whatever the fuck. So even if I were to steelman that point specifically, where does that even get him within context of comprehending something that's transcendental to its structure?
No, yeah, it sounds like he's just saying now, why can't mental states be limited by dimensionality? I can explain that and defeat that real quick.
Go ahead.
So, yeah, that's what I was wanting to get at.
Yeah, I mean, this sounds like whatever. I'll just defeat it. Yeah, do you agree mental states are not physically measurable?
That they're not physically measurable? I mean, if you're going to force me to abide by like the proposition that I lost the last point, obviously I have to, right?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so then they're not dimensionally limited by anything. So if they have no dimensionality, they can't be limited.
You understand that something can be unbound by space in the aspect that they don't exist within like a spatio-temporal axis, but that doesn't mean that like in reference to like its existence, it has to be transcendental to everything that is not unbound or limited by.
They're two contradictory properties. You can't have something that is both spatial and aspatial. To be bound by space means that you exist within it.
I said, bro, okay. I'm saying that there's a difference between not existing within space and being transcendental / superior to space and time.
I don't think that means anything. I'm just saying if they're contradictory properties, you can't be bounded by something if you don't have a property at all.
Yeah, but that's not going. That's my argument. So, like, can you give a refutation?
It is. It's saying if this thing has no extension, then it cannot also be bounded by extension. What the fuck?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be bound by space. That doesn't make it superior to.
That's
So
not. It's
give me the
not. I
correlation?
already went through this. It's not a superiority thing. It's just a matter of contradictory properties. You can't hold both at the same time.
Bro,
So if we
okay.
grant
So
one, that
let's
means we
say
deny the other by necessity. So,
I'm gonna just say what I'm saying in like a numerical thing. We can just go to conclusion on this point. I don't think you're refuting it at all. So
okay.
let's say we have a hypothetical A in which we have like this aspatial / atemporal being, right? He exists what you call beyond the concepts of space and time. But within context, it's only limited to his existence. But his power / like, I guess we'll call it like his existence is only at a level of 4. And then we have somebody that's like a hyper versatile being or whatever the fuck, and his dimensional prowess is like 7. He wouldn't be able to comprehend the person that's like transcendental to him, just because he's like unlimited by a plane in which he exists in.
That doesn't mean anything. Just saying two people. I don't even know what does it mean to be transcendental to someone's existence. What
Superior
the fuck
to.
does that mean?
Superior
Yeah,
to.
that's a synonym. What does it mean to be? No, I'm not saying like just give me a synonym. What does it mean, and how is? Can you explain the process of how someone is transcendental to another person's existence?
The process of it's just kind of you just are.
Okay, so you have no mechanism to actually explain why this
I
thing's
mean,
true.
once you break words down to a certain point, it's just going to be fundamental, right? Like you understand what the
Yeah,
word superior means now.
yeah. Your definition is fundamentally circular. It's saying it's true
All
because it's
definitions are
primarily.
fundamentally circular. That's so stupid to point out.
No, that's not true. Some
It is
are. There's
true.
some there no, there's some primary semantics, not all words are.
Give me a definition that isn't circular of words that isn't circular.
Yeah, I got you. I don't fucking know. Let me think. I don't know, vanilla cake.
What's vanilla cake?
It's the components of I don't know what goes in vanilla cake, like vanilla extract, flour, eggs,
What's vanilla?
sugar. Yeah, the word vanilla. Okay, wait, you just got it. Vanilla can be a primary semantic where you can just point to a vanilla, plant and say this is vanilla, but that doesn't mean vanilla cake is, right? You just
What if the components of this thing are
yeah.
circular, meaning it's contingent upon circularity? By extension, the proposition would also be circular.
Nope, that's not true.
Bruh,
You're trying to
what do you
apply it,
think?
but you're trying to
What do you
wait,
think
stop,
circular
stop.
reasoning is?
I'm
What
not
do you
done.
think circular reasoning is?
I'm not
Okay.
done. You're trying to affirm the consequent. That doesn't follow. So bye bye, fallacious. All right, let's get it.
The definition of circular reasoning, because we can go through this. I don't really go for it.
Okay,
The
wait. Can we
definition of
move on?
circular reasoning. The
Wait,
definition of circular.
I'm not trying to give a lecture in circularity. Wait, can we move
Okay,
on?
well, I am. So that's what I'm gonna do. The
So
definition of circular reasoning is when you try to backtrack on the premise to prove the initial proposition. If
okay,
literally
so
the
we
premise of if literally the premise of vanilla cake is a component of vanilla and cake or whatever the fuck. And then I ask you to tell me what vanilla means, and then we both agree that vanilla in and of itself is circular. That's you backtracking on the premise of what vanilla cake is to prove the proposition.
So the word vanilla cake is not circular. It can be reduced into further parts. Okay, so even if vanilla can't be reduced, that doesn't mean. Wait, okay, so you just conceded. Okay, let's no move on. Wex. I'm done. Give a judgment.
You already agree. You already agreed that
I'm
it's
tired,
circular.
bro.
What
I'm
the fuck
tired.
are you
No, bro.
talking about?
He's not
You just said that
understanding basic
you
definitions.
said that you can
Wex,
break it
bro,
down
Wex,
to
give a
certain
judgment.
levels.
Wex, give
You
a
said
judgment.
that
Wex,
you
give a
no, you're gonna
judgment.
let me refute. You're not
Stop.
gonna try to steamroll. You're trying to steamroll. Let me refute. You're trying to say that just because you can fucking break it down to certain levels, that means that it's not circular. The levels in which you're talking about breaking it down to, the first one, that being vanilla, you already agreed is circular. So it's not that you can break it down in a way that it doesn't fucking like I guess, evidently like what's the word I'm
Do you,
looking for? Self-evidently reassure itself. You're literally agreeing that literally the way that in which it does reassure itself is it relies on the
do you,
premise in which it's
yeah,
intended upon.
do you think when I say self-referential and circular, I mean the same thing?
You didn't say self-referential one time in this whole
Yes,
conversation.
I did.
No,
Yes, I
you
did.
didn't. No, you
Yes,
didn't.
I
No,
did.
you really didn't, bro.
Okay, wait, Judge, did I not say primary semantics or self-referential?
You said
Uh,
primary semantics. You did not say
You said
self-referential.
said primary semantics are like conjunctive semantics, like vanilla cake, I think.
Okay then.
No, I didn't. I didn't.
So,
No, I
yeah.
didn't say primary
No, so I
semantics
try
was
to pressure your
conjunctive.
friend into
I
agreeing with
never,
this.
bro. Stop dick riding. Stop dick riding.
You're literally trying to get him to dick ride you,
Bro,
but
I can't respond. He's trying to like over talk me because he knows it's against slam. But
you're
back to
literally
it
trying
though.
to convince your friend to switch
Bro,
to this.
bro,
Midnight, let him finish, bro.
Wait, can I get
I'm
some
waiting for him to give his
clarification?
argument, bro. This nigga's trying to
yeah,
fucking convince
okay,
me he said something.
bro,
Lex obviously doesn't remember it. No.
Wait, yo,
bro, I
Midnight.
can't talk. Okay, I'll be painstakingly autistically clear. When I say primary semantic, I mean something that is no longer reducible, okay? When I say something that is compositional, like vanilla cake, that means it can be reduced further, but it may be reduced into something that is referential or irreducible,
Okay,
right?
then there's no difference between that and what I did.
Those aren't the same things, right?
But then
It's
there's
very
no
clear.
difference between that and what I did. I gave you a key word that was able to be broken down, and then I gave you a word that was not being able to broke down to say that you couldn't break down the word vanilla. So let's move on.
But then, by definition, no, no,
No,
you're
we
just
can
not
move on. That's
understanding.
the exact same thing. Like,
Yo, I'm not allowed to speak. Can we get
nigga,
moderation?
damn, you're acting like I'm holding a gun to your head.
I know, but stop talking while I'm talking. Then be quiet. So what I'm
Nigga,
saying is, mute him,
Bro, every
mute
time
him.
he cusses, I'm just gonna start muting him, bro. Like,
Thank you. But back to it though. When I say it's irreducible, meaning it can't be broken down further, if there's a primary semantic, it can't be broken down. If vanilla cake can be broken down, that means it's reducible, right? So that's not the same thing by definition. That's just to be very, very clear to make sure we understand what a primary semantic is and a compositional word, okay? Very simple. Okay.
Repeat that real quick.
Primary semantic, something no longer reducible or irreducible. Compositional words or complex words are reducible, right? It's not the same thing. Very clear. Okay.
Okay. So if I literally gave you a primary semantical word in which it is reducible, and then we get into a complex word after, right? And then you
I
agree that
respond to that
literally
first part because that's a contradiction. You can't do that.
what?
You can't have a primary semantic. I don't think you know what primary semantics are. That's why we're running into this
You
issue.
said that a primary
Wait, let me finish. A primary semantic by its definition is analytically irreducible, right? So when you say I give you a primary semantic that's reducible, you aren't giving me a primary semantic or it's not reducible. It's one or the other. That's literally a contradiction.
Yeah, I just looked up the word. That's fine. I gave you a complex word, right? And then we got into a primary semantical word, the exact same thing that you did. So we can move on.
We didn't use the same words. The one I used was reducible. The primary semantic, for example, vanilla is irreducible. So those are two separate words and two separate.
Yeah, transcendental was reducible. Superior was not reducible.
Can I? All right, so can I?
Wait. So how is transcendental reducible? You didn't refer to any other words that describe it outside of a synonym.
What? Can you prove that superior is a synonym to it?
You used one word to replace another. By definition, that's a synonym. You use transcendental to replace. Or sorry, let me fucking finish, bro. Can there be moderation, please? Moderation, please. Moderation, please.
I'm muting him.
Moderation, please.
Yeah,
I'm allowed to finish. Yeah, in a debate, we're allowed to finish more than 4 words. Relax, right?
Yeah, you
So,
can continue.
yeah. So you use superior to replace transcendental. That's by definition a synonym. So go ahead.
Bro, Geass, if you say a point, and I obviously understand your point, I'm gonna respond to it. I don't know why you're fucking being this bad and bitching to your mom.
Do you want me to respond to that or no? Do you want me to respond to that or
no? I want you to understand that I'm gonna respond to your point if I understand it.
No, that's called cutting me off. That's called cutting me off. That's called cutting me off.
Okay, yes, you can interject during conversations when you go to
no. We said
niggers, stop being spurgs.
If you go to the cookout and then you're like, stop interrupting me, you're gonna kick out the.
A conversation's not a debate, though. You know, it's too. I don't care. I don't care to explain.
A debate by definition is just a conversational format in which is formal. That's the only difference. Just because it's formal.
I disagree.
We all just like agree to like a moderator.
Let's just move on. Let's move on. I don't care. Like, bro, I don't care. You're not gonna be able to cut me off. That's how it's going, right?
Okay. Well, if you cut me off and I bitch to your mouth about it, I want to hear shit. So anyway, back to the fucking debate. So can you fucking repeat what your point was?
If you listen, transcendental is not transcendental and superior. If you're equivalating them, that means you're using a synonym by definition. You're saying this word can be substituted. You're saying what? You're saying this word can be substituted for this word. That's a synonym analytically.
I said something that is superior.
Okay. So it's to be superior. Okay. If
No,
being
it's not.
okay.
That's what I'm getting
Uh, oh my God. So is and to be is the same thing, but
at.
okay.
I said something that is superior.
Oh my God. Okay. So if it's just that, my question is, how are you explaining that something can be superior, as far as its existence? What does that even mean?
What
And
does it
how
mean
did you
to be
explain that that's
superior?
even true? How did you prove that's true in any way?
Prove what's true.
The claim that you can be superior to
You don't
something
think
in
the first point,
existence.
by the way, because we're going point by point. We're not doing 2 points at once. You're gonna be like, you didn't respond to that. Like, if you want me to
Sure,
respond to
sure,
one
sure,
thing,
sure,
you
sure.
respond to
Just focus, yeah. So just focus up. How did you prove that something can be superior to something else in existence? What does that mean?
that. We already had an example, right? So we both obviously have like a referential plan.
I didn't hear any example. And an example
Yeah,
would just be a
literally.
claim. No offense, but
To be qualitatively greater than another thing.
yeah, I'm saying if these things don't have extension, they can't. Wait, what do you mean qualitatively greater? Like, what does that mean?
Like within context, this thing has like an attribute that another thing does not have. Like it has like a trait that something else does not have.
Sure, I agree. You can have different qualities. How does that make it greater than another one?
We're defining the word greater now.
What? Yeah, what do you mean by greater? That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, I'm saying when I say the word greater, I mean that this thing has another trait, right? And this trait that this other thing has makes the thing that does not have this trait better.
That's that's circular. The explanation was purely circular. You're saying it's
What?
greater, but I'm asking you. Wait, let me finish. I'm asking you. How did you determine that it was better to have a different quality?
Because it
Like, for
determines
example, if I wait, let me wait. I'm almost done. I did pause for a second, but 1 second. If I have a red bike and a blue bike, what makes one better? Because they have different colors.
if I have a red bike, okay, yeah, we already said that. Okay. Did you not listen to the second part of the definition I said?
I don't think you
But I
explained
think
anything I asked, but if you did, just go ahead and
Yeah, I
repeat
did. I
that.
literally said within the context of the second part of the definition, I said specifically that this trait that it has makes it better. Do you want me to explain what I mean when I say better?
That's not. I know
wait, I understand
what
what Midnight is saying.
quality.
When I say the word,
If you're not, wait, let me finish, bro. I didn't even I didn't even ask the question. Let me
you
finish.
literally asked me.
So
I'm trying to define it so you could understand what I say better. Could understand what
I
you're
know,
saying.
but let me ask the question. I know what you said. Let me ask the question so you can answer in a way that I'm understanding. Just listen to the question,
I
right?
didn't
So I'm
say
saying,
anything, bro.
I know, bro. Oh my God. You said something. I'm trying to ask you a question to get the clarification to actually answer the question, right?
What
So
did
I
I say?
can understand. So you said, oh my God, he's not following. You said this thing has a quality that makes it better than another thing. Okay.
Yeah, and I want to define what I say better because I didn't know
I know
follow
what you
question.
said. I know what you
Yes,
said.
wait,
Let me ask my
yes, Midnight.
question.
You're not letting me fully flesh out my definition right now. So can I please
Oh
do
my
that?
God, this thing is an
Thank
idiot.
you.
Oh my
Like,
God.
no, I'm trying to flesh out what I
I
mean
guess
because it's like answer the follow up question.
wait.
When I say
Wait.
better, I mean that the trait that it does not have makes it more effective.
What?
It's a more
Effective is
effective trait.
okay. Effective is a quantitative measurement. Do you know that? Efficiency is a quantitative measurement.
Sure.
Okay, so then how are you quantifying what's more efficient between two levels of existence? What does that even mean? How are you more efficient in existence?
I mean, it depends what we're specifically comparing it in what aspect to. If we're specifically comparing it in the aspect of force output, then that's like a way that you can measure it, right? With
No, no, no.
efficiency.
You said no, no. What? That's not what efficiency.
Like
Efficiency
if
is
I'm
the rate.
saying, if I'm
Efficiency is
saying
the
that,
rate
like,
at which you wait. Let me finish. Efficiency is the rate at which you attempt to do something versus actually doing it. Right. So for example, if my goal is to go 10, 10 for 10 from the field, and I go 10 for 10, I got 100% efficiency. My friend goes 5 for 10, he got 50%, right? So I'm asking you, as far as attempting to exist over the amounts of times you do exist, how are you measuring efficiency, and how can it be better than somebody else?
what? Okay, so within context, your literal example kind of goes against what you're saying, right? You're starting to say it's only limited to attempts. I'm saying that that's not the case. Within the context, yes,
What?
we take attempts into consideration, but we also take into consideration how successful you are within these attempts, right? Like
Yeah,
if
I
I
know.
tell
That's what I just
you,
said.
that's okay. Well, it was a very bad way of fucking saying it. Well, now within the context of responding to that point, I'm gonna just say that if we're measuring an eighth dimensional being within context to an aspatial being, and we put them against an infinite amount of enemies in which they're getting infinitely stronger in this hierarchy, the person that can output more joules of force, obviously, would be more efficient at defeating
what is
enemies,
force?
right?
What is force? No. Efficient at defeating it. No, the thing you said they were better at was existence, right? So I'm asking you, how are you more efficient at existence, and what does force have to do with that?
But okay, you asked me specifically before we got into the sub point. Oh, well, how do we say like how are you quantitatively greater? What does that mean to be quantitatively greater than someone within context of these beings or whatever the fuck? And I said it depends on what metric we're using. If we're using AP, I gave you a valid metric in which you could be more efficient.
But the thing we're measuring efficiency for is existence. You're saying they're better in their level of existence, right? You didn't answer that question.
Okay, well now since we're specifically getting back to the main topic, thank you finally.
I've asked this
Within
question
context,
like 5 times.
no, you asked me like 3 to 5 different questions at the same time.
Okay, wait.
Multiple
Oh
points, and
my
I was just
god.
about to
Okay, can
respond.
you just respond? Just go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. So within context of being greater in existence, I would just say that obviously, since we're talking about verse battles, it would just be whose existence grants them superiority to other beings. Like within the context of like being
So
able to beat them more efficiently.
isn't that's combat? What does that have to do with existence?
Well, no, because obviously, like let's say we have like this being that's like 0D or whatever the fuck, that grants them a certain limited amount of power now.
That's combat. That's your ability. You just said it. Power. Your ability to beat another combatant. Right. As you use the
Yeah, but I'm
example,
saying,
the number of enemies you can defeat. Right.
but I'm saying that there's
That's
obviously
combat.
going to be limited. It's going to be like impossible for you to defeat certain enemies based off of your existence.
So what does combat have to do? You're not answering the question. What does combat have to do with existence? Why does combat in any way determine
I'm saying
who
obviously
exists better?
since we're measuring existence within a verse battle scenario, right? That's the way in which I'm using it. That's what I mean when I say
No,
it.
that doesn't answer the question. You know what is existence?
Bro, I'm telling you what I meant connotatively since I'm talking about within respect
Yeah.
to the game.
What do you? Oh my god. Okay. So what does that mean to exist? What does that mean?
To have a state of being.
Oh my god. So then, how does combat change fundamentally how you exist in any way?
Bro, I'm saying that within context to why existence would be relevant to verse battles, we're measuring how well your existence fares or what
That's
type
not
of
my question though.
advantages you get from
What
having
you're
certain
answering isn't my
existences.
question. Like you literally
But
just
that's literally,
answered something I didn't
you're
ask.
literally going on something that I'm
Wait,
not
wait,
saying.
wait. Can we
You're
get
trying to make me
clarification?
defend. You're trying to
Wait.
make
Can
me
we get
defend a position.
clarification? Was there ever an answer to the question?
Okay, so to clarify for both sides, essentially, I think Geass is just asking how efficiency or some other metric pertains to some things like, I don't know, ontological status or something. When this is just
Yeah,
Exactly.
I already told him why I'm using it in this manner within context of this conversation. He's trying to get me to answer it in like the actual philosophical way when I say I'm obviously using a different connotation.
Well,
Bro,
if
can
you're
we get
just
back to
saying
the
some, if you're
fucking, can
just,
we get
yeah,
back to
if
the
you're
one
just,
can we get back to the One Piece shit, bro? Like what the
yeah,
fuck
if
is
you're
this
just,
up to
yeah,
this?
but the thing is, if you're just saying somebody has better combat prowess, that doesn't answer the question at all, and that doesn't actually define what we're trying to ask the
Bro,
question for. So if that's
literally,
true, wait, let me finish. So if that's true, that means that you didn't actually answer why there's a limit on Luffy's mental state as far as its dimensionality, so we can move on.
huh? Nigga, what does
Wait,
this conversation? What does
wait,
this?
if you,
Wait, tell me what
oh my
this
god.
conversation about like this weird thematical shit has to do with the overarching topic. On make like a
Yeah,
direct follow.
you're not following. Oh my god. The point we're
Nigga,
on
then you
now is
tell me
this.
you follow
Let
them.
me. I know if you shut your mouth, your fucking pie hole,
Okay,
I
then
can
stop trying to
answer.
be
So
passive
like, shut
aggressive. You're
up,
not
then shut
following.
up, shut up,
You're
shut
not
up,
following.
shut
Make your
up, nigga,
argument.
shut up. Hey,
Make your
somebody mute
argument
him.
then.
Somebody
Yeah,
mute him.
no,
Somebody mute him. He's
yeah,
retarded.
I
The
don't
okay.
think
ADD
you
acting
know.
up. Tourette's can't be controlled today. So let's get into it. So what I'm saying is, if you didn't prove that in any way there's some transcendence in existence, that means there's no way to show that there's any disparity between what Luffy can perceive or imagine and what he can't imagine, right? So that means that he absolutely, with no limitation, can imagine anything that's logically possible. Therefore, without limit, besides his imagination, he can imagine your character losing. So, GG. All
All
right,
right,
can we be done? I think I
So
just
let me
won the
close.
debate, so can
Can I
we
get
move on?
unmuted? Holy shit, bro. Hold on, we back.
All right, we don't need more. Can we be done here? Like he lost. I'm sorry. He doesn't follow arguments. He's just saying random, like VSBW shit. Like, mm-mm-mm. This is so ass.
Box, I'll get some clarification.
Well, you playing friend groups, bro, because that nigga is just rambling. Like, you just saying random shit over and over and over and over and over and over and over.
I'll get some clarifications and
yeah, he's not saying. He's literally just mumbling. Like, he's not saying anything.
I think I'm not gonna try and straw man while he's not here. Like, I might have misinterpreted, but I mean, I think he was essentially saying that, like, if two separate things like hold the same set of properties X, but one holds like +1 property, then it's superior.
Yeah, but I'm asking him what property allows for some quantitative measure of so I guess some greater extension. Like he says the property he's saying is existence, and he never answers how you can have greater existence. Like, what the fuck?
Okay.
But, wait. Okay. Do you have anything new?
I try to explain, right? We always get into like fucking like what you start cutting me off. You always try to fucking mute me and shit in the midst of my explanation when I try to elaborate on a certain word. So can I please actually finish my definition without you bitching to the mods and fucking muting me?
That is not what happens. You're allowed to explain.
That just is what happened. That just is what happened.
Okay, we can disagree. Go ahead.
Well, no, that just is what happened. I have to fucking okay. So again, now let's get back to the fucking root of the argument. So if we both agree that imagination is a mental state, let's like walk us through the argument now. Since apparently you need to be like you need your head and help type shit. So would we both agree that imagination is like a mental state?
Oh, you're asking me?
Like your ideas.
Huh?
You agree that imagination is within context to like someone's ideas, right?
I don't know what you mean. When like Lothar say within context, they usually misconstrue something. So what do you mean?
It's like your ideas.
I don't know. Okay, thank you for repeating the word. I don't know what that means.
I'm just saying. Do you want me to get the actual definition of ideas?
I don't know what you mean. You're just saying like it's in context to your ideas.
A thought or suggestion as to a possible course of action.
It's the things with which you can conceive. Sure, I'll go with that definition.
Okay, cool. Hold on. And you said that Luffy can conceive anything that's logically possible?
Yep.
Okay. Would you agree that certain logical possibilities... okay, actually. Let me do something real quick. So if I were to prove that my characters are logical, would you be fine with this ending the debate, though?
OMG. I don't think you can do that, so you're allowed to try, though.
If my character's beyond duality, would we agree?
This is gonna be easy clips. I don't think you can. I don't think that means anything.
Duality like proves that you're like logical.
I don't think that means anything.
Wait, hold on.
What, the statement or beyond duality?
Yes, he is. He's trying to give his own upscaling now.
Yeah. Okay. Wait, the statement or beyond duality?
Wait for what? No, I can. I'm gonna grant there's some statement that you can wank to try to say they're beyond duality. I'm asking, how does that? What does duality mean? First off.
No, I'm asking you, would you agree that if he was to reach this threshold, that he would be illogical?
I don't think anything can reach that threshold, so I would.
Well, no, I'm asking you, like, if you were to, do you think that, like, within reality, that being beyond duality entails that you're illogical yourself?
I don't think that sentence means anything, so that's why I'm disagreeing.
Well, do you want me to, okay, well, to be beyond duality means that you're beyond dual proposition, like you're beyond the law of non-contradiction.
I don't think that means anything.
I think that's your logical definition.
I know you're saying like what you believe it means. I'm saying I don't think that holds any meaning in reality.
I mean, that's not like really a refutation, right? Like if you're like beyond the law,
you're saying jumbo. I'm saying you're saying mumbo jumbo.
Nigga, I'm not fucking done. Mods, mute him. Shut the fuck up, nigga. Okay, so now let me make my argument. So if you're beyond duality, right, that would mean that you're beyond the law of non-contradiction because you would be beyond the affirmative and its negation. The law of non-contradiction is simply stating that an affirmative claim and its negation can't both be true simultaneously, which is an entailment of someone being fucking trans-dual or whatever the fuck.
I don't think you can be beyond the laws of... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
So you're saying that it doesn't mean anything isn't a refutation?
I don't think you can... Well, yes, it is, but I don't think you can be beyond the laws of logic. I think that sentence literally means nothing. And then... so when you say something, I don't even think you can be outside or aside from logic. So I don't think any of that means anything.
Well, which claim are we gonna go with? Because you made two. So which one are we going? Because like I said, we're going point by point.
Well, yeah, I'm responding to the claims you made, right? So of course,
yeah, I only made one. I only made a fucking simple entailment, right? That
you implicitly made two, but whatever. I don't care to get into that. We can go with.
First thing that you said or the second?
We can go, bro. If you shut up, I was literally answering. right? So we can
Okay.
go into, bro. When you talk over me, people can't hear me. So you're just
I just said okay, bro. Go ahead.
you're wasting
Stop
your
being
own
pressed.
time. Like, be quiet.
Stop being
Um,
pressed.
so like this nigga retarded. But like I'm saying, we can go to whether things can be illogical at all.
Okay. So,
What
like
does
I said,
illogical mean? What does illogical mean?
to be beyond the laws of logic.
Oh, okay. So what does it mean to be beyond logic?
What does it mean to be beyond logic?
Yeah, the laws of logic. Yeah.
That you're not bound by the logic, by any logical systems, or
So that
by
means you. So
a
that means you
logical
don't
system
have.
that has to
So
do
that
with
means.
stop.
Oh,
I'm
go
gonna
ahead. Go ahead.
stop.
No, sorry. When you paused, I thought you
Particularly,
were done. Go
yeah,
ahead.
that was my fault. That was my fault. You're right. But particularly within this context, the logical system that has to do with like the laws of logic, that being the law of identity, the law of non-contradiction, and what was the third one? Law of excluded middle.
Okay,
Yeah, that's all.
bruh.
Keep it going.
So if something. Wait one second. So if something is beyond the law of identity, right, which means it doesn't abide by the law of identity, how do you know
Mhm.
this thing is itself?
How do you know that this thing in itself? It wouldn't be. It would have a
Okay, so
different
if
state
it's
of being.
if yeah, if it's not itself, how can you assert your character does anything?
It wouldn't be itself in the literal sense in the way in which we conceive it, but it would simply have a different state of being, obviously.
Yeah, yeah. So logically, how can you make the proposition that this thing, your character, does anything or is
Do you
anything?
not do you not agree that you can like put unlogical things
Wait,
into like
can you
logical?
stop answering? Wait, can you stop answering my questions with multiple questions? Just answer the one
It's
question I'm
not
asking you.
multiple questions, it's one
Yeah,
question.
yes you did.
Calm down.
You already what? You just asked me a question
No,
before
I
this.
didn't. I didn't even get to finish the question. What the fuck are you talking about?
Okay, so you did. But go ahead.
I really didn't though, because you cut me off, so now I'm gonna go ahead and finish it at the end this time. Within context, I'll just make an affirmative claim if that's a problem for you. So you can put illogical things into a logical format, right? And it could still be sound within context of certain hypotheticals.
Wait,
If I
why? Show
say
me any. Wait, show me any rule of inference that says that's true.
I
What
was
you just
about to
claimed was
give
true.
you an example if you didn't cut me
That
off.
doesn't. That
I
doesn't.
was about to give you an example if you didn't cut me off, so chill out, big bro.
Okay,
So
okay. It
if
doesn't
we
matter.
have
But
the
go ahead.
example, if I say that we have a hypothetical world in which the law of identity or law of non-contradiction didn't exist, right? And then within the context, if I were going to make that into like a syllogistical format, I can simply say, A, the law of identity doesn't exist. B, law of identity not existing entails that obviously this thing does not equal this thing. Therefore, within this hypothetical world, it is logically the case that which call A does not equal I. That is me putting in a logical.
Saying the law of identity doesn't exist isn't a contradiction. To say it exists and it doesn't exist at the same time in the same way would be a contradiction. That's what you would need to prove. You're just
Hmm?
saying something doesn't exist. It's not a contradiction.
What? Nigga, wait.
Saying something
You
isn't the
saying
case
that,
is not a contradiction.
bro? If you literally agreed with the argument that I said or the definition of what it means for something to be illogical earlier, it didn't simply entail a contradiction. A contradiction is an entailment of the definition, but that's not what it's limited to.
What else is illogical? What's anything else that's illogical?
Anything that's outside of the laws of logic.
Okay, okay,
The
wait.
laws of
I'm
logic
saying
not
what?
existing. The laws of
Yeah,
logic not
I know
existing in
you're
a
saying,
simply.
I know you're saying something outside, but you're presupposing anything could be outside. Can you prove anything can be outside the laws of logic?
Well, no, that's what this is just dialectical evidence at this point. That's still an entailment of what you said.
What?
You said within question that I didn't present a
Oh my god.
contradiction. You said that within context I didn't present a contradiction, yet it's simultaneously the case that this hypothetical world in which I brought up did not abide by the laws of logic. So you
That's what's
yourself
in question. That's
admittedly
what's in
said,
question. That's literally
okay,
what's in
okay,
question. You just saying it doesn't abide by
inside of
logic
this
is what's in question.
inside of this hypothetical world, the first thing that I said is the law of identity does not exist in this realm.
I
That's not
don't.
what's in
Can
question.
you wait? Can you prove any? That's the thing. You're just repeating the thing in question. Can you prove something can exist without the law of identity? That's
That
what we're
something can
questioning.
exist. That something can
Yes, you're
within.
granting. You're giving. Wait, let me finish. You're giving a hypothetical that grants your claim. I'm asking you to prove the claim.
You understand that the law of identity only governs over reality, right? Something that's outside of reality doesn't necessarily have to abide by the
Rea-
law of identity.
I think. Well, so you don't know. I don't think you understand the word reality when you use it. Reality is the set of all true things, right? When you say something is outside of reality, I think that's the same as saying something that does not and could not exist.
That something does not and could not exist. You're trying to say that something that's
Yes.
outside of reality necessarily is a contradiction.
Yeah, yeah. That's the only things that do not exist, right?
Okay, go ahead and prove that.
Yeah, yeah. So things that exist in or conform. Do you know? Do you know what like the do you know any like theories of truth?
Can you give me an example one? Maybe I do. The name doesn't ring a bell.
I go with in the most common stance is what's true is that which conforms with reality. Do you disagree with that?
What's true is that in which conforms with reality. Can you
Yes.
tell me what does that mean? It sounds extremely over redundant.
It's not, but I can tell you, it's saying, for example, when I say there is a dog outside and I can see there's a dog that is outside, where I'm saying that this thing conforms with reality, this proposition is true because there is something that's real that also has, that's a dog and is outside the house.
Would that not just be self-verifying?
No, you can make a proposition and not have any verification of the proposition. Like, for example, if I say the sun's out and I'm in a fucking, my eyes are closed, I'm blind, and I'm not outside, I can't feel sunlight or anything. I don't know. I can't verify that the sun is out. But no, it's not self-verifying.
Oh, so you're saying that within context it would just be anything that actually is the case?
Why do you all say within context with everything? That doesn't make it any more true.
Yeah, I'm saying within context of your definition. That's why I'm specifying.
I know, but you don't need to. That doesn't add anything. That doesn't add anything.
It does, because obviously words can be interpreted in multiple ways. That's why I'm saying within the context of how you're using it, you mean it in this way.
Of course, the way we're speaking is the context with which we're speaking.
Well, yeah, that's why I'm specifying it.
But no. But back to it. Yeah, anything you can verify to be true would conform with reality. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the second hypothetical.
That's a knowledge claim. That's different. That's not relevant.
So the second hypothetical in which you brought up, right? You brought up a hypothetical in which you're saying the sun is out, yet you don't see that the sun is out. You would be verifying that from like scientific knowledge, though, within that context, right?
No. A proposition can just straight up be wrong. That's a knowledge claim, though. That's different from what we're talking about.
I'm talking about your definition, though. You're saying things that we can verify.
That's not a definition. I'm just saying, I'm explaining that something that conforms with reality is something that is real, something that's true. We come to know these things through verification, but that's not relevant. It's real whether we know it or not.
What do you mean when you say verification? What does it mean to verify something? like
proof, evidence, the way in which we evidence things. Like your eyes is evidence for something being true.
I'll just say that within that within that like system or whatever the fuck, it would just be reality would just be anything that's like within human knowledge and anything that's outside of human knowledge.
I just explained that it's not knowledge. Oh my god, it's not knowledge.
The hypothetical in which you brought up didn't present that though. So can you give me a hypothetical in which?
Yes, I did. You're purposely representing or misrepresenting my analogy. What I'm saying is
totally what I'm doing.
I know you're either not understanding or just being a rat. What I'm saying is you're either not verifying. It doesn't matter if you verify this thing; it is true irregardless of verification. And I've said that very clearly.
What? Okay, restate what your definition was on, because that just sounds like a direct
definition of what? Of what?
Conform your system that you brought up, the system in which you would
conform. Yeah, it's when a proposition. So the thing that's being stated does in fact concur to. I don't know if I can make it more simpler. To be true is also true in reality, right? So to say there's a dog outside, whether I see it or not, and there is actually a dog outside, that means the statement is true, okay?
Okay. And then you said the way in which you verify that these things are true.
Yeah, I went through this multiple times. You don't need to verify, right? That is not relevant. That's a knowledge claim. Cool. A knowledge claim is not relevant for the millionth time.
I found that. Cool. Okay, so keep going then.
That's it. That's just saying if we conform, or if this thing conforms, that means you need to verify it's real and exists in reality. If it does not do that, that means it does not exist in reality, right? So when you say there are things that are illogical in reality, you would need to prove that, right? You can't just say, I'm granting a hypothetical where I grant the proposition is true, right? So can you prove that?
Can I prove that an illogical thing exists within reality?
Yes.
That's not what I'm saying, though.
Oh my god. Okay.
I'm not saying that it exists within this reality. I'm saying that in a hypothetical world in which that is the case.
There is no such thing as another reality. That's where you're confused.
You used hypothetical worlds earlier to verify your claims. Now you're just being blatantly.
That's not that hypotheticals are. They verify what can be true in a possible world. I think maybe you use a different definition of reality. I take reality to mean of the actualized world and the set of all possible worlds, right? Unless you mean something different, I don't know what your question is saying.
The actual world and the set of all possible worlds is what you just said?
Yes.
Okay. And what do you mean when you say possible worlds?
The way in which something could have been a possible world.
Okay. And I'm saying
Something that logically follows with a different set of nomological values.
Okay. So are you trying to say that because it's the case that this thing
Bro, this is like ABC lecture, like what the fuck?
Okay, cool. So are you trying to say that it's because it's the case that this thing cannot concur with like reality, that it cannot be a possibility, or it's like illogical or whatever the fuck?
Yeah, it doesn't exist, yes.
Okay, well what's wrong with me bringing up like an illogical possibility?
A logical impossibility?
Yeah.
By its definition, it doesn't exist. So you can't say it's true.
That's not my point though. I can still put what you call like a logical impossibility into a logical format or slash formula.
No, wait, that's what's in question. You're saying you can do that. You didn't prove it.
No, you simply said that I can't say that a logical impossibility could be a hypothetical, which I agree with, obviously. That's never what I said, though. I'm saying that within context that I can put that illogical thing into a fucking syllogism or whatever the fuck, and this thing would still be sound.
You can't syllogize something that is logically impossible. It doesn't mean anything. You're saying you can do that. I'm asking you to prove you can even do that.
Where's the error within the syllogism, then, that I presented?
Huh?
Where's the error in the syllogism that I presented, then?
Okay, so a proposition expresses something that is either true or false. A contradiction is both true and false at the same time in the same way. So it cannot be propositional analytically. What the fuck? Like,
okay, nigga. If I'm literally saying that within context, we're not talking about obviously our definition of like truth and what's not true. We're talking about soundness. Then that would obviously be different, right?
what is sound? Do you know what soundness is?
All soundness does is just verify the consistency of a proposition and its intelligence.
No, you idiot. That's not soundness. You're dumb.
Yes,
Oh my
it does.
god.
It says okay. It literally says if this thing is valid, literally all something needs to be what you call sound is both valid and
Do you know what valid means? Do you know what valid means?
Like if these things hypothetically are the case, then like X would follow.
Yes. Okay. Do you know what it means for premises to be true?
Yeah.
If any part of your I'm saying if any part, bro. If any part of your argument is contradictory by its nature, it's both true and false at the same time. It cannot be just true.
But I'm literally trying to say that obviously within context of me bringing up logical impossibilities and putting them into a syllogism, I'm saying if X is true, then this other thing would obviously follow.
You're just saying if contradictions are true, then your conclusion is true?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're not true. They're verifiably untrue. Or sorry, okay, well, verifiably not just true. So you just defeated your own argument.
Well, then boom, then you just agreed to what I just said. That's fine. We
use logic. We
use logic to express logical impossibility right there. Yes, we do.
No, you cannot. Oh my god. Wait. No, I think propositions that always evaluate to false or impossible, right? So when you just say we verify, if you want to say we verify that it could never be the case, sure. I thought you meant verify as in to affirm it's true, which is what it sounded like you were saying.
No, okay. I'm saying that we can verify certain things in like the modality of a hypothetical world in which like contradictory things are the case. We can still like verify.
Right. Are you saying you can verify whether it's true or false, or just verify that it can be evaluated?
Yeah, like I'm saying that we could evaluate hypothetical worlds in which.
Yeah, sure. Contradictions always evaluate the false. So if any part of what you're saying is contradictory or doesn't abide by the laws of logic, it doesn't exist. Cool. Thank you. That was easy.
Huh? Okay. For one, that would be you conforming again on your definition of what it means to exist. But I'm saying that obviously things can have a different state of existence. The fact that we can speak about this thing
the
fact that we could express this thing's meaning in any way already proves that on some level it does exist, right?
No. Language is the attempt to conform with reality. Language does not always have to be true. So no, that's not true.
Obviously when we're talking about language and shit like that, we're describing things in which we think are the case. Or we're giving descriptions to certain things.
That doesn't defeat my argument, right?
What? Okay, I literally said that they exist on some level, and then you're saying that they don't exist at all. That literally is a direct contradiction.
Yeah, no, you're just saying it's true. Language is the attempt to determine what conforms with reality, right? Language does not have to be true, just by the nature of propositions.
But they're literally, okay. Obviously, they don't have to be true. Obviously, they don't have to be true. But I'm saying that obviously, if we're describing these things, right, would you not agree that by extension of us describing them, that they would be able to
No,
exist
I
within the
just said
mental life?
I said no and gave you an argument for why not.
Okay, well, I'll just say that the only way.
Let me just look in scans. Just look at the truth table. Like contradictions always evaluate to false. So yeah, in every possible world. So if that's what you mean by evaluate, yeah, we just evaluated. They're never the case. So that hypothetical could not be true. Okay, can we move on? No.
Hold on, we're already some of that scams.
Yeah.
False, false, true, true, false, true, false, false.
It's the one that has all the big fat F's like your report card. Here, I'll give you another example. Look, just look here. All F's, right? So all F's.
Yeah, but you're
It
just
always
showing me something
evaluates
that
the false.
you're just showing me that something that is the case within reality. I'm trying to say that
No,
obviously.
oh my god,
I'm
you
saying,
just conceded.
stop, nigga. I'm literally fucking making a point. Shut the fuck up. Holy shit. I'm literally giving you a point that can correspond within like imagination through descriptions. Obviously, what you're saying is true, that they wouldn't be truly true, but I'm confused as to why we're talking about that, because obviously within fictitious settings we can do things that like go against physical laws, whatever the fuck.
That's not the same as logical laws. Let's move on.
Yeah, they're not the same, but I'm saying, why would they be restricted by that?
Because, oh my god, physical laws are dependent on logical laws. The thing in question is whether you can deny these logical laws.
No, I'm asking you.
Just saying why not is not an answer. Like, give a judgment. He's
Wait, no,
not
I'm saying
understanding.
why. No. I didn't say why. I didn't say why not, retard. I literally said that we can use descriptions. We can describe what a hypetical world in which
we already questioned that. We already, you just repeating the thing we questioned like 18 times.
Stop. Because yes, we questioned that, and then you said that we can evaluate it. It's just that they wouldn't correspond with reality because they would all be false. I'm saying that does not have to be the case within a fictitious setting, obviously.
That's what's in question. You're literally going back to the original question to try and prove.
Nigga, no, that's not okay. Literally,
wait, do you agree fiction is a way?
I'm gonna tell you. No, I'm responding to what the fuck you just said right now. So let me respond. I'm gonna make a discrepancy in what we're talking about right now. The first thing in which we were talking about literally was whether or not these things can correspond or whether or not these things can exist within reality. Right?
That's why you but the reality is the set of what's true.
Shut up. I'm not done, bitch. Okay. So I'm saying that these things don't correspond with reality. Obviously, I'm agreeing to that. I'm biting the bullet in that point, right? But then I'm saying that obviously within a fictitious setting, in which it's only contingent upon descriptions, if it is true that we can describe hypothetical worlds.
Why did he need to repeat himself 8 times? Why are you just letting this going into like the infinite circle?
Okay, so
if it is the case that you can describe illogical things, then it would follow that within a fictitious setting.
Lex, I've heard this argument 8 times.
Okay,
literally.
Hold on, wait. No, I literally
the same exact argument.
I literally didn't make the first part of the argument. The first part of the argument.
No, he's made the same argument 8 times, literally. Like
the first part of the argument. What? You heard me say that fictions are like abiding by.
Bro, he said this so many times.
Wait.
If
so
your character's strictly a modal.
Okay, cool. Then we can just go to conclusions. Then let's go.
Okay, so let me wait. I was trying to finish my response, so I didn't want to hear a repeat of the same argument.
Look, I didn't repeat myself. If you're not going to give me the courtesy to make my argument,
Wex. He's just repeating himself and trying to stop.
I literally made a difference in the first part of the argument. I told him that obviously within fiction is contingent upon descriptions, and that's something
he said that same sentence 6 times before.
I never said that at any point of the debate.
I don't have time for the retard shit. But back to what I was saying though. I mean, if it's not true in reality, which means it's not true in the actual world, in any possible world, your hypothetical, which is an example of a possible world, could not be true by definition. Okay? So thank you. We're done.
No, that's not how the fuck that works. Okay.
That's what fiction is too. What? That's what fiction is too.
Okay, but I'm saying that all fiction would be contingent upon isn't logic. It would just be contingent upon description, since that's the way in which we express fictitious settings.
That's what's in question. You're just saying that's true.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. That's not what you said at first. So stop.
Can you imagine a contradiction? Wait, just answer this. Can you imagine a contradiction? Okay, cool.
No, nigga, because I literally gave you the chance to have a spontaneous conversation. You want to do that bitch shit, so fuck you, bro. Okay. So if within context, right? I literally said that within context of like a light novel or something like that, all we're doing is expressing the idea of a fictitious setting through words. We're not using imagination. We're not using like pictures, videos, etc., right? So that would be an example of a fictitious setting in which it's only expressed by words, and that's what my fiction also files under because it's a light novel. So,
okay, can you imagine a contradiction?
Can I imagine a contradiction? What do you mean by imagine? It depends.
To conceive.
can you define conceive real quick? Because I think that there's like two different things.
It's primary. It's saying to come from your imagination. Can there be a contradiction?
Bro, that's so circular. Like, if we,
Yeah,
okay,
I know it's fundamentally conception is like a really
I'll just give my
fundamental
answer then.
property.
I'll just give my answer then. There's two answers, right? If by imagination you mean like, can I envision it in the sense that I can like see this thing?
Yes.
Then no. But if by imagine you simply mean like describe or descriptions, then like yes.
It's not imagination what you just described in that first one is conception. That is imagination, right? Language is not your imagination, right? Language is
No,
the
I'm saying
attempt to
I can have internal monologue of
bruh.
why this thing would be the case, right? That would be like
I
my
know, but
imagination.
we already went through language being true or not, right? I don't need to go back into that. What I'm saying is, if the first part is untrue, that's all your imagination is. It's your conceptive ability, right? So if you can't do it, then just by definition, you cannot imagine
Okay, then I
anything
guess.
that wait, let me finish. You can't imagine anything that's contradictory. So yeah.
Okay, well, if that's your definition of imagination, if like if it was the first thing I said, then yeah, I literally said I agree with that. I don't fucking care. That doesn't apply to this scenario that I brought up.
It does. You don't understand why, but
No, it doesn't.
I already defeated this. I don't care. Let's go.
I literally said
We can
that
move
there's a
on.
difference. I literally said that there's a clear difference between descriptions and like actually imagining something within a literal sense by that definition.
I know. I already defeated the description part. Let's move on. Okay. Can we get judgment? Like,
You said
Lex, you're
that you
playing
defeated
buddy
the
buddy.
description
Like,
part.
oh
What do
my
you say to
god.
the? No, are you
I already
talking
no.
about
This
just to
was
make
two
sure that
arguments
just to
ago.
make
This was
sure
two arguments ago. This was two arguments ago.
just to
No.
make sure that we're both on the same page with the fucking
No. This
description
was two
part? That
arguments
was
ago.
with the
No.
was that
No.
not with the logic shit? Yes or no?
Lex. This
Okay,
was
then,
two Yes, I did. This was two arguments
okay,
ago.
so that was a logical argument.
I'll take
This was two
verdict.
arguments ago. I'm not going back.
Okay, cool. We can go to conclusion now.
Do you guys need conclusions or do you just want verdict?
No.
Just give your
He can
verdict.
go. He can go. I don't care. He can go. I don't like her.
Just give your verdict.
Okay, so essentially, how can you ascribe like a modal possibility to something that conforms a modal that is strictly bound by modal impossibility? That means that something that would just a modal impossibility exists within an actualized possibility and or a possible world, which is categorically false. You went a little circular with trying to prove that something can actually, you can actually express something using a logical framework if it adheres to an impossible setting. I didn't see much justification for that, which is why I would initially say that your character is not logical then. You then went on to talk about in a fictitious setting. Geass brought up how you cannot actually imagine anything illogical. Your contention to that was nomological laws being broken within fiction. That's strictly different, or rather an extension of logical laws, which denounces your argument against that. And so I'd probably give this judgment to Geass. If I got everything right. I was absent for a bit,
Yeah,
by the way.
I don't think that you got it. If you were absent, then just don't give your verdict. But okay,
Yeah.
literally, I'm not sure if you heard what I said, but I literally told Geass like word for word or whatever the fuck. Because you were right that I brought up like the nomological law shit, but that was to express a different point. I wasn't saying that you can break nomological laws, therefore you can break laws within reality. Literally, the point that I was making is that Geass's whole basis for why you can't do this thing or why you can't be illogical is through some correspondence with reality. I'm saying that if we already know that within the context of fiction, did you hear the last thing that I said about descriptions?
You describe fiction as a product of descriptions or something?
Yeah, right. Yeah. So if I literally said that within context, fiction would only be limited by descriptions, and Geass already agreed earlier that you can evaluate these possible worlds via descriptions, that literally doesn't have to abide by like imagination or anything of that nature.
You know, it's an attempt at actualizing these possibilities or approaching the actual thing. It's just a reference to the thing itself.
I'm literally saying that it's not the case that these things are being actualized. I'm saying that it would only be the case within this fictitious setting. But obviously, within the context of reality, we both have a mutual ground on this thing being logically impossible, that it can't correspond with actual reality. But I'm saying that that's not relevant because it's fiction.
This
Okay,
nigga's so ass. Like,
I understand that, but when you attempt to describe your character winning due to some ontological superiority within this context, they're illogical and they're beyond logic. You put that into question. What does that even mean? And how can you actually imagine or actually justify, right, through an argument, a possible world in which something that
Bro, I'm not gonna
evaluates
lie.
the
Can you like tell
false
me how he
null.
defeated my argument and stop repeating his argument? Like I already understand what his argument was. Can you tell me why you thought it was like defeating to my
Yeah, he's
argument?
saying I defeated your argument, you
Okay.
idiot. Just
He's not.
listen.
He's just fucking repeating it, you autist.
That's the defeater,
Yeah.
dummy.
Okay.
What?
No, he's
So
not. Retard.
the reason the reason it defeats that is because you cannot actually or make an argument with a conclusion that is true that is predicated off of false and or true and false statements, essentially.
Yeah, but that's again an appeal to reality, which I literally went against in this debate. So I mean, if you're just gonna keep saying the same thing, we can just.
Did this nigga just say an argument was an appeal to reality?
Wait,
No, I said that I already went against that notion, right? Was what would be categorized as an appeal to reality, and I explained why it does not apply in a fictitious setting. But I don't think I'm gonna convince
Did he
you.
say a
Obviously,
contradiction was an appeal to reality?
oh my god, this was hilarious. Okay, nigga, back on mute. What are you saying?
you're you're basically arguing that that's an appeal to reality. That argument.
I'm saying that like if I were to have to word it as something, that's what I would word it as. But obviously, I gave a different description. But go ahead.
Cracker!
That's not really true, though. I mean,
Okay, well if that's your sentence,
how can no? I mean, like an argument is just how you
I mean, I don't, bro. I'm not
describe
gonna
a
lie. I just
possible.
don't think I'm gonna convince you. I just think that you're gonna say Geass won whatever, so I'm not gonna waste my time.
Do
Like,
you want me
what?
Bro,
Can you tell me?
ask Chat too.
Can you
Chat
tell
is
me?
going
Can
on you
you tell
saying you
me?
got slammed. Like, what the fuck?
Nigga, yes. Oh my God, D1 and Geass's server is saying Geass won a debate. Who would have
No,
ever
it's people
thought?
I don't even
That's
know.
crazy.
Even like theoretical toxic is saying you got slammed. Like, what
Nigga,
the fuck?
Toxic doesn't fucking like me, and Toxic's a fucking
Look,
philo goon. Of course he's gonna say that. I don't give a fuck. Now, what were you saying?
okay, so basically, you're saying arguments themselves or contradictions are an appeal to reality.
What? No, I'm saying him using logic as a basis, as something that has to conform within a fictitious setting, is an appeal to reality when there's direct counter evidence
Oh,
against that.
oh,
Because
so
he never disputed the soundness of what I'm saying. He simply said that it's impossible, which is something that I already agreed on. But that was something that
Hey,
was
yo,
never.
toxic. Hey, toxic. Let me get on a
okay,
remix, bro. Hey, bury them 6 feet with their grandfathers.
but sorry, you were saying that
Like, if we're gonna
logic
be
doesn't
real, bro, is
strictly
there
apply
any
to a
threshold?
fictitious setting. You're
Can we
saying
be?
that it.
Is there? Hold on, wait. Just answer the question because it's gonna turn more than I'm gonna talk to you now. Is there like any threshold that like if you were to hear something and be like, oh, okay, like I don't think there's a way in which I'm gonna change your mind. That's why I'm like not even trying to waste my time.
Any threshold to whether wait what?
Like, yeah, what threshold of evidence? Because I think that you literally just agree with Geass's stance, and you're also friends with Geass, so he's gonna say he
Yeah,
won.
when
So
you get, he's friends with you. He's friends with you. When you get
he's
slammed
really
and
not
negative,
friends
you
with
can't
me, bro. He
convince anybody.
barely talks to me.
But hey, no, toxic. Let me get on a remix, bro. Come on.
Now,
I'm
what were you
not gonna lie
saying?
to you, Wex is like one of the most unbiased niggas that I know. I'm not gonna cap.
No, I totally disagree with that. Go ahead, Wex.
I mean, do you want me to explain my verdict again, or do you want me to explain how
I
logic
mean, yeah, I'm
or
saying, is there like a
fiction is
threshold
predicated?
at which you could hear, or are you just like 100% convinced? If you're just 100% convinced, I'm not gonna waste my time and just leave. Obviously.
Do you want me to explain how he argued that logic strictly adheres to or sorry, not logic, fiction strictly adheres to a logical framework?
Yeah.
Or yeah. So, did you agree that you cannot conceive of illogical things?
Yeah, but I also told him why imagination wouldn't be what fiction's contingent upon. I made a disparity between those two things.
If that's not okay, that's just wrong. I mean, if fiction is not
I mean, it could be just
contingent,
wrong. We're going
if
off of what both of us said, bro. So like,
if
don't do that shit.
if fiction is not contingent on imagination,
Okay, cool.
then
I'm just wasting my time, bro.
it like actualizes within a possible world. Do you know what I mean? What is it contingent on then? What is fiction? Oh, did you say descriptions? Is that what you were saying? What entails of
That
descriptions
nigga,
is
that nigga
is a
left.
faculty of imagination. Oh, he
That
left.
nigga left. Yeah, that nigga left, bro.
Yes, that is what he was saying. He was like, yeah, it's contingent on either imagination, right? I mean, he is like actually granting that's true, or description. I'm like, okay,
You sound
descriptions are
worse
the
than
attempt.
that.
Yeah, he's saying descriptions are the attempt to map things onto reality. Well, I said descriptions are the attempt to map things onto reality, and he just couldn't prove that. Like, what does that even? What does that do for his argument?
I'm
Not
not
gonna
gonna
lie,
lie.
not that smart. I don't understand a word y'all just said.
Nigga's retarded. He just said random shit. Like nothing he said was true.
So what was he trying to say?
At the end, he was saying descriptions. So basically, just saying something makes it possibly true.
That doesn't make sense.
Yep. Yeah, if we
So
can contingent on descriptions, yeah, okay. Just 'cause if I say Goku is, what's our next?
so if I say 2 + 2 = 5, that makes it possible.
Wait, that's not an issue. That's not a logical issue.
Why not?
If I say Goku is gay and straight, that can be true now.
Oh, yeah. So, if I say 2 + 2 = 5 and 4 at the same time, is that like a?
It's like a math rule. I think you can get away with those.
He lost me in the beginning. Like he didn't understand
That shit was so ass.
the start of what was the purpose of the starting experiment. He didn't understand that.
Yeah.
He was just saying,
I
yeah,
can't.
well, hypothetical be false though. Like
I can't.
that didn't mean shit.
I can't
Yeah.
lie. He could have won. He could have won the first point, but he definitely lost the second one.
But yeah, he could have argued good, but he chose not to.
He was just missing the crux. I wanted to say something so badly, but I mean, I thought Midnight was winning for a bit, and like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, get the fuck. He didn't win shit. Oh my god.
He just didn't argue it correctly. Like, sure, these mental processes are not physically reducible. And that entails, and if it's true that entails that there's no limit to what we can conceive, then other mental processes such as qualia, there's no limit to what we can actually experience, and so we can actually experience any set of physical things as well.
You're both sparks. And Wex, you're just a cracker. I'm not gonna lie to
you. He was close, but he just didn't.
No, he was not close. He just said random shit and didn't prove anything. Yeah, I think this is true. Okay, why is it true? Because I think this is true.